All right, where are we? We are in the Coastal Cliffs tournament. I played. We're in the opening round in the rookie division. Richard's on the line. What's up, Richard? What's up, Richard? Coming from Thailand, the man, Dan, the man from Thailand. Yeah, it's a morning where you're at. It's evening where I'm at, right? So, what time is it at your house?
It's 9:52.
9:52 in the morning, and it is 7:52 at my house. So we tried to get matched up so that we could play around together, but we tried two different counts, and it ain't working. They're not the same trophy count. 18 trophies, 1,818 trophies in one account. Tier 3. Can't get matched up. We're playing in the Netherlands. We flew the private jet all the way to the Netherlands just to play and played MX being a bitch. So we got that going for us. What is hole number one? I played around the front side in my practice account and was able to pick up all three of the par fours. So I shot a 15. I haven't played the backside yet. I thought I'd play my 77 account, and then tomorrow morning I'll play my odd account, and then I'll play my 77 account afterwards. What account are you playing?
With me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't normally play in the morning. I usually wait till about 6 o'clock in the evening
And play
get
in the
my
evening?
beer together and play for 4 hours in the evening. So I've got two accounts still to play, and played one last night, but I can't remember. I think I played 15 holes, but I don't know what the score was. But I've got a few. Still a few counts to play. It just takes a long time to get on the court. Once I get an opponent pretty quickly.
I'm kind of confused on this first hole, because on the first hole in the practice round, or in the practice round and in the qualifying round, I hit +0 to the cup and it went right in. The first time I came on here, I took off 10 and then I hit, I hit perfect and it didn't go in the hole. But earlier today in my odd account, I hit the wind's going, we got almost due tailwind, I believe. So when you take that second shot, it's like almost due side wind from the right to the left. And I hit a great to the left and it went in. So that means I overpulled it. So I'm thinking that maybe with this particular wind, we do need to take off 10%.
Well, you should, in theory, you should be taking off -10 because it's so uphill.
It is. I mean, from where you're landing to the green, I mean, you're down here and the freaking pins right here. And I mean, if you measured this out, this has got to be every bit of 15 feet. I mean, every bit.
Yeah.
I mean, probably
like
more.
You say, the first time I played it, I played it 0, and I dropped it. And other times I played it with -10 and missed it.
Yeah.
I played it with 0. But then it's all right if you hit perfect every time. You can see where you're going. But
well, like I said, I hit a great to the left today, and I made it. And so I'm thinking what I did was I overpulled it with this wind, that I should have took off a little. I'm going to take off a little. I'm going to hit it with a Titan.
Maybe 5?
Maybe. Maybe.
5 of... I don't know.
Let's see. We'll go out and we'll see. We'll see.
Like you say, the wind elevations change because when the wind blows from a different direction, you've got to add more or take some off to what you were doing before.
Yeah, and it's not like the whole elevation thing is not consistent. Like dealing with the wind is one thing, but like the elevation stuff, and it's all bullshit. It's all a made up, manipulated number from Playdemic.
Yeah, so
Because
really,
if it was true, it wouldn't matter. Like we may have to make an extra adjustment if we have tailwind or headwind or side wind, but the elevation number, the elevation adjustment should be a constant. Because if you're in the
yes,
same spot every time and there was no wind, and you hit it perfect and it didn't go in, that means that you'd have to do an adjustment. And then if there was wind, then you may have to do an additional adjustment because of the direction of the wind. But they change that, they change that number. They can manipulate that number so it's not a constant. And what obviously as a player, we want some of this stuff to be constants. We understand that the wind is variable, but when Playdemic goes in there and they can manipulate the base numbers so that they're not constant, that's bullshit.
yeah, because that's why you practice to try and get the elevation right, and then when you play,
I have no idea what my opponent's trying to do. I don't know if my opponent's trying to rough bump it. I think my opponent's trying to rough bump it out. Okay. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to rough bump it out. And they're not doing max OP. Okay. Okay, dude. When this gets stuck, if this gets stuck in the rough, and it should get stuck in the rough, and you give me the fucking frowny face, like, dude, what did you expect that shot to do? And like, that is the worst angle to come at that cup. Jesus. People. 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 One less than max topspin. I'm pulling back to the +6 mark. 3 rings off. Let's make sure I got the distance. 4-1. I'm doing +10 on the drive, so it's 4-4. There's 4-2 and a little. Max curl. Hitting it. Perfecto.
I got 373 on my yardage on that hole.
Oh, I picked up the little teeny bit of the slide. You hit 373?
Yes.
I hit 373.
I set it up with the red ring off the rough at the 8-yard mark. With my big topper is not as advanced as yours. I think mine's only 5.
And
Level
I think
5.
Yeah. Yeah, but they still have 100%. It still has 100% topspin though, right? And I'm pulling back from the red line quite a bit. I think I can go like to the 16 mark, +16, and I'm pulling back to +6.
Yeah, I'm pulling back to +8. And yeah, it's the second shot. Before it was like 0 and it would go in, but now I don't know. So what are you playing at?
I'm playing at max rapier.
Yeah, max rapier. What? Your elevation?
I'm gonna do -5, -5%, divided by 1.2. 3 rings exactly. Oh, fuck, and then I hit it great to the right. And that's definitely not going in. Woo! That went in. I hit it great to the left, and it went in earlier, and I hit it great to the right there. I think part of the deal is that you're so close that you can almost hit it left or right. There might be a little funnel area right there. I don't know, but I'm going to take it. I hit it great to the left in my auto count. And I did +0, and here I did -5, and I hit it great to the right. So like maybe I underpulled it here. I don't know. I'm just gonna take the drop and be happy about it. Woo!
Yeah.
Can't be good, be lucky. I am one with the force is with me. I am one with the force is with me. All right.
Yes.
This next hole,
That's the way to go.
hole number 2, I tell you, the way to go at this is to do the rough bump. But you got to have you got to have a pair of cojones to do the rough bump. And
no, I don't think so. I know you set it up on that flat, mid club on the flat on the flat part of the fairway. But I've gone up the hill a little bit sometimes, and I've got pretty close doing the 6 backspin, 5 backspin, sorry. And,
and what Richard's talking about is going up on this hill face right here, and I'm just opposed to those hill faces because if you hit a little high, it goes to the left, and if you hit it a little bit low, it goes to the right, and so you can make it. It's not that you can't make the shot, but it's hard to replicate. It's hard to come back the next time and do the same shit over again.
Yeah, but where I've been going from, where you go from, on the flat, I haven't had any success that way, so I thought I'd try going on the hill face.
Yeah.
And it's been very close, but haven't dropped it yet.
I've made a few hole-in-ones on this hole, but this is not like a, one of those banner holes that you're like, wow, I can't wait till we play that hole again.
Nice. They're all tricky par 3s.
Yeah, I mean, all 3 of these par 3s. And the last par 3, as far as I'm concerned, is a gimmick hole. That's the one you're doing the sand bump on. That hole is...
Well, I did once, yeah, but I'm not doing it again on that. No.
Are you ready to play that one? Are you ready to play hole number 2?
I don't know. I haven't played any yet.
Oh, you haven't played any yet? You haven't played hole number 1 or anything?
No, I was...
You were just sitting...
I was playing...
yeah, you're... That's right, because you play in the evening. Okay. I was thinking for some reason you were playing, so...
No, after failing to get matched up with you,
yeah,
I'm just looking at a blank screen, basically.
You're just chilling. What's it like in Thailand today? Is it raining there today?
Well, it's cloudy. They forecast to rain, but at the moment it's not. It's overcast and it's 30 degrees.
Because you guys are coming up towards your rainy season, right?
Yes.
Richard describes Thailand as there's 3 types of weather. It's hot, hotter, and wet and hot. That's it. That's the 3 types of weather.
And humid as well. A lot of humidity.
Well, that's every day, right?
Yeah, basically, yes.
What's funny is I'm playing a guy called Dan, and I know you got Dan Glebitz, and he's playing the shot off the hill. He's going to go long because he's going to go long. This shot's not going to work out like he wanted it to. And he hit it great to the right, so it's going to go flat to the right.
Yeah, I just thought I'd try that shot from there because I wasn't successful.
The problem with the rough bump is you still have some weird movement on the green to go through. And the rough bump here is somewhat dangerous, so... I'm at minimum.
It is. If you don't push the ball through the cup, you end up short. If you hit perfect and everything goes right. So yeah, it's not worth the risk. Just take your birdie and go home.
I can't get the ball to fucking go where I want it to. It's 2.8 at max. I'm going to do a max pull even though I'm at minimum club. There's 2.8. And I hit it great to the left, so I got that going for me.
Yeah, any good?
It was a little great to the left, but it was at minimum club, and I did a max pull, and I hit it great to the left. So, I mean, if I would have did a minimum pull, I would have been even farther to the left. I did a 17.5% adjustment, but it seemed like I needed to do more. You're way the hell downhill.
Yes. Well, I do a 15% and 1-to-1. plus 0.1.
Yeah, and you're at mid club and you're still doing a max pull. Well, if you're at mid club, that's 1.1, and you're adding on 1 point. If you're doing so that'd be like a 25% adjustment at mid.
Yeah, it's too much.
What you really need there is, I'm not sure what you need there. What you need there is your caddy to go down there and drop your ball in the hole and go, and then you take the shot and go, wow, it ended up in the hole. That's what you need.
That's what you need.
That's what you need. Hole number 3. What is hole number 3? I need to make an Albie here, and this is I'm confused on what to do to the cup here. Like, I hit it perfect. I'm not sure that I've hit a perfect into the cup yet, so I have no fucking clue what the second shot should be. I know the very first time I ever played this hole, I made an Albie on it, and the first time we had this in a tournament, I hit like 3 Albies that week. I think the only round that I didn't get an Albie, I Albied it almost every time I played it, except in the weekend round, I didn't Albie it once. But it seemed like we were doing it almost seemed like we were taking off a little bit, like 5% or something.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't hit that perfect, the second shot perfect yet. But I'm just doing a 0. And, so it's difficult to tell. If you don't hit perfect, you can't tell if you need to take more off.
You can't tell shit if you don't hit it perfect. And you don't need a Kingmaker here. You can do this with a Titan. You don't need a lot of side spin on the drive, and you don't need a lot of side spin on the second shot. But you can cut the wind down just a titch. I'm going to take off 5%.
Yeah, well, that'd be interesting.
And I'm
using a rock for your drive?
Yeah, and I'm doing 1 3/4 topspin on the drive. And I'm pulling back to the +5 mark.
Yeah. I'm pulling back to the +5 and putting 2 topspin.
What cracks me up on a hole like this is you see a lot of people use their extra mile, and it's like, why the hell aren't you using your quarterback? Because I know not everybody's got maxed out club or rares. Like, what the hell would it feel like to have maxed out epics? But I know that a lot of people have like a level 5 or 6 quarterback. I don't understand why people aren't using their quarterback on a shot like this.
No, it's obvious, isn't it? It's just, you need to have an accurate club. You don't need all the extra mile.
Well, and the deal is the ball guide really helps, because you can really see where you're getting down there, like where you're hitting to with the ball guide. And, shit, why wouldn't you take a club that hits 100% accurate?
Yes, I don't know.
I don't know. I see a lot of these holes, and I'm like, are you so in love with your extra mile that's like the only club that you can use? I mean, I get it. I use an extra mile all the time. I love extra miles. We all do. But shit, why wouldn't you use a club that has better ball guide on it? Especially when you can run out of fairway so you can really get a look at it. Hell, your big topper's got better ball guide.
Yes. I mean, I think the last guy I played on that hole he's using an extra mile 7.
Yeah, this guy right here that I'm playing shot it with an extra mile. I mean, they're in a good spot. They're a little bit farther back than me, but shit, why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself, people? 1.8 rings. .8 rings. 1.8. Hey, let's move the rings and not the course. There's 1, 8. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Get in the hole, ball. Underpulled it just a little. All right, back to the drawing board. And the speed was pretty nice. There's a spot there, if you're going just a little bit too fast, it'll break to the left instead of breaking to the right and go to the cup. So your speed is super important coming into that cup. But my speed was actually pretty, I'm like maybe a square past the cup. My speed was pretty good. But I definitely came in, I didn't pull it enough. And
you pulled it?
I did.
Minus
-5. If I did 1, it would have been 1.9 versus 1.8. And while I'm off farther than 0.1, the way that it breaks to the cup, it might have put me on the other side of that break, so that 0.1 could have been like critical.
What do you mean to do it 0%?
Yeah, I'm just going to hit it at 0. Maybe we need to add on. That's the deal. Well, no, this is where I'm always at in the opening round. This is, I know it seems like it's frustrating, but like this is how I play the game. So like in the qualifying round, I figure out what clubs and ball I want to bring, and I don't worry about elevation. I don't worry about adjustments to the cup. And then in the opening round, if I can shoot both, this is why it's so important to shoot your own video. I shoot 2 accounts, and like, you know, I have notes, and I tried a 0.95 and I didn't really like that. So like, I'm going to just try 0. And so I've got 4 chances to kind of get my act together. And then when I get to the weekend round, now I actually have some notes for the second shot. And so, and the whole goal is, and you know how it works, is you can peak too early. Like you get all your shit together, and then you peak in the opening round, and you like throw out a 32 in the opening round. And you're like, yeah, well, guess what? You have no place to go with a 32 except for down. And so when you're on like a 28 track or a 29 track, then you start to get depressed about it. And so I always want to peak in the weekend round. So it's kind of it's a process to like prep myself up and to get myself into the weekend round. So I'm a streak player. I have to, I can peak out too early. And all right, here's number 4. This is the one with the 5.5 backspin. And I did, I did a 20% earlier, but I think I should have done at mid club. So I should have did 1.1. So it should have been 1.2 times the wind divided by 1.1. And I think I forgot to divide by 1.1. So I've got my equation.
Yeah, it does it all for you.
And I can take a navigator. Now, what I could take, if I really wanted to get douchey, is I could take one of those fucking 0 power precision balls. But even if I hit it absolutely perfect, I don't know that that's going to do me any good.
Navigator's fine.
I don't think that's the problem here. The problem is I don't know like whether I've got my... It doesn't do you any good to bring out a precision ball if you don't have the right numbers for the adjustments. So like if you have the right numbers and you make a perfect adjustment and all you have to do is hit perfect and it goes in the hole, then yeah, using a precision ball is going to help you. But if you do a 20% adjustment and you only needed to do a 10% adjustment, that precision ball doesn't make up the difference.
Well, shoot with a precision ball, you should hit anywhere and it'll go in the hole.
Right. No, that's the that's the 5 adjustment ball. Like you could be 5 points off in your adjustment and this ball will make up the difference for you. And it's a 6 precision.
Yes.
And it's minus 27 wind. So that's why they'll never come out with a ball that has like, they'll never have a day. I think the lowest wind I've ever seen is like 0.5 or something, but they don't ever want to have it where there's no wind, because if there's no wind, we can figure out the adjustments. And then if you went back out there, you can see how much they manipulate the game, because that's the whole deal is that's why we get those updates. They're manipulating something in the game. So there's 4, there's 5.5, 2.6, 2.83 rings. 2.83 rings. There's 2. There's 2.83. Exactly. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole, ball. Go home. Just missed it to the left. There's so much movement down there by the green that I have no idea whether I need to make an adjustment on that or whether it's just like where I set it up. It bounced off that hill and it rolled to the left instead of rolling to the right.
Yes, it's difficult. It's not easy to. You say the movement. I'm aimed slightly to the left, and I dropped it once, and like one of my teammates in Kings 2, he aimed it straight at the cup, and it went in.
Yeah, and I just aimed it straight at the cup. Because I watched your video, and in my odd account, I set it up off to the, right outside of the cup on the left-hand side, and then I messed up my wind adjustment, and I actually overpulled it. I think my opponent just made a hole-in-one. Woo, they rimmed it. Oh, and they almost ended up in the rough.
Well, I've got some work to do. I've got some grass to cut because.
Yeah, you go get on your yard work. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna play I played the front with Aught, and I'm gonna play the front with 77, and then tomorrow I'll play the back with Aught, and then I'll play the back with 77. See if I learn anything.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. I mean, we had no grass anywhere, and then we had a little bit of rain. Well, I say a little bit. It's probably about 2 inches, and within 5 days, the grass has come up a foot. Everything is so fertile in Thailand. You plant something, it grows.
Well, that's good.
He keeps planting these papaya trees. We've got about 6 of them now. Like, I don't know if you know papaya, but they make they sort of chop it up into strips and put it with lots of chili, and it's like a salad.
What's it called?
The papaya.
Papaya?
Papaya, yeah.
I've never heard of it.
It's like, well, it looks like a long, how can I describe it? It's about as long as a cucumber, but 3-4 times as wide. But doesn't taste like a cucumber. They call it, they make a salad out of it called tom yum. I think it's called tom yum. Which is very nice. But my wife is mad on chili, and I can't eat half the stuff that she cooks. She does because
well,
she cooks
they've cooked
chili.
some really hot food over there because it's so hot, and they cook hot food, so it kind of cools them down a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can make this shot right here. This hole right here, I made an adjustment today, and I made it with Aught, but we'll see if I can make this is that big ass par 5 where you gotta.
Yeah.
I saw one of my opponents earlier today. They brought a power 5 ball, and they did a straightforward shot. They hit it straight forward onto that pad, and they hit it way the hell out into the rough. And they were well within range that they could get on with their Nirvana, and they just got up on the green, got their eagle, and moved the hell on. Which is actually a pretty smart move when you think about it.
Yeah, well, I've gone that way on that pad, and I just, with an extra I think I used an extra mile and a few 2 or 3 backspin, and then the big dog, and just drove it up over the sand onto the green that way.
I think I need to be.
Well, I prefer the way to going to the left.
Just a little more than 4 rings.
You got a chance for a rough bump with the sniper.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for, is the rough bump.
You can put too much overpower on, too much side spin on your APOC, too much curl, and you can end up in the rough.
Yeah, that's what I just did. I went 4 rings out, but I can go. So with Odd, I've got the APOC I have in that account has 92 curl, and this one's got 98. And even though it doesn't sound like that's a big difference, that's a huge fucking difference. So I went 4 rings off. I started off, I was 3 rings off, and I was way in the rough. And I pulled out a whole ring and and it was perfect. It was still a little bit too close to the edge, so like right there, I pulled it off like 4 and maybe a quarter rings, and I can actually go a full 5 rings off at the 5 mark. My opponent's also in the rough, but they're a little bit farther down than me. They should be able to easily recover. I'm in a spot of bother.
You don't need to put. You can put less than full curl on it, can't you? You don't have to put it maximum.
Well, I don't like. The deal is that on that particular type of shot, I'd rather just set it up so that I do max curl.
Well, you can set it up so the ball's touching the outside of the circle. They're not full topspin, which is what I do. That way, I avoid the rough.
And we'll see if I can recover and get over to the green side and get out. There we go. Give myself a short chip to the green to recover, as opposed to having to take the wedge of the long iron shot over the top. So I was able to get, my opponent is down the hill even farther than me. They should have an even easier shot, but I had to do a max overpower shot with my Nirvana. And I had to take some of the top spin off so that I could... I find that it's easier sometimes to do a maximum overpower shot than it is to try and be like half power. Like my opponent, they're doing a max overpower shot with their Nirvana, and I think they might, if they catch it perfect, they might actually go too far.
Yeah.
Let's see if the wind really killed it. It did kill it. They got lucky. Still got a little bit of work to do here, but this work can get done.
You got a chip with your Hornet?
No, I'm in a quarter rapier, and the wind's going right at me, so as long as I hit it perfect, I'm in the hole. And I hit it great to the left. And I'm still in the hole. On the left-hand side of the hole, but I'm still in the hole. It was quarter rapier, so at that point it's... And the wind was going... It was due headwind. Now, my opponent's got an inbringer, and Dunner would tell you that the inbringer's the way to go, but I don't see very many people actually play their inbringer correctly. So anytime somebody brings out the inbringer, I always feel like I have a shot at it. And they hit it great to the right and barely fucking made it.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the inbringer, I must admit.
I'm not a fan of it either, but the thing about it is that there isn't any time that I find that you can do exactly the same shots with your rapier that you can do with an inbringer, but with an inbringer you can't run topspin, and you can with a rapier. So a rapier can do everything an inbringer can do, and some. That's the deal. All right.
Yeah, I'll never use it, really.
I'm gonna change my notes here. I got to be 5 rings off. 5 rings. 5 rings off. At the +5 mark, and that's perfect. All right. All right. All right. Well, you go get your yard work done, and I will.
Go do my yard work. Yeah?
I'll post this video when I'm all done.
Good luck, and I'll catch up with you later.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. It was nice having Richard on the call. Nice having Richard around for a bit, talking to my teammates. Hole number 6. What do we got? I'm doing the max overpower hook shot. And what I'm doing is in this area right here, I am white ring up against the rocks. And I started off the week, I was blue ring off. So I was 3 rings out this direction. And then white ring was kind of up. But I've moved the shot down just a little bit. and I'm rubbing my white ring, and I'm half my clear ring is on the rough and half my clear ring's in the fairway. And I'm one less than max topspin. We'll try it. I did this I practiced once in my odd account, and then I went out there on the course. But what I'm trying to correct here, and it's not necessarily is that when I come around the bend to come here, this first bounce is like a blade of grass onto the fairway. And I didn't roll off into the rough, but I was too close for comfort. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to land back just a titch. I don't want to be too far back, but I want to land just a little bit back here, and I'd rather end up being right here as opposed to right there. I mean, if in a worst case scenario, I'd rather be here and pitch it because it's pretty flat right here for this chip. And so I'm going to try and pull the shot back here to make this first bounce be more in the fairway, and then I'm going to take off one topspin to try and get me to this spot right here. That's the goal. I'm working the shot, working it. And I'm going to take my number 2 bag with a Katana. I like Katanas. Katanas are great. Like a one-on-one, like occasionally I'll pop up to a Katana, but I played up to Tour 7 with a Marlin. There really wasn't any reason to play anything other than a Marlin, and I always have played with a Marlin, even from the very beginning. I could probably count how many times I played with a white ball on both hands. I probably played less than 10 games out of the however many games I've played, 20,000 games, and I've played maybe 10 of them with a white ball. I really like the side spin. Just a little. I'm playing some Tour 8 in my odd account to try and get my trophies back. At one point I was maxed out, Tour 8, Tour 9, Tour 10, and I had to go back and get all of my my trophies up to Tour 8. So I'm maxed out to Tour 8. Now I'm trying to get all my trophies back. That's what I'm trying to do. One less than max. Sliver more than one less than max. Okay, white ring off the rock. Kind of half the clear, half the 3.5. Where's that put me? Okay, 3.5. I'm doing 10%, so that's 3.8. Max overpower hook. I got it all. Oh, and I picked up the slide. Even with the one last topspin, where I came through right there, I picked up, you could see it was going perfect, and then it hit that downhill slope and it slid and actually picked up speed. Now you can do a max curl shot from here. An extra mile is not the I mean, if you've got an APOC, or if you got an extra mile 6, you got an APOC 3. And an APOC 3's got, well, maybe. Man, that seems like it's way the hell out there. And I'm assuming they're bringing this ball so that they can get the side spin they're looking for. I have no fucking clue where that ball is going to end up, but it didn't look like they set it up right. And that, my friends, they better hope that I make this shot, because they are not getting out from behind that rock. They are not getting out from behind that rock. That is not going to happen. They better hope. They better hope I make it. I'm going to hedge my bet. Hitting it perfect. In the hole! Woo! Recovered. And that was a recovery for an eagle. Yes. I'd rather see where that divot is in the course right there, the little indentation right by the green. I'd rather end up in that. Yeah, you're not going to make it out of that. You're not even going to be able to curl it out of that. You are lucky I made mine so that you're guaranteed to get a birdie. Yeah. Yeah, there's a word for what you are. You are screwed. Although at this point, because I've already hit my eagle, I would have tried a max overpower hook shot and tried to get out from behind it just to see if it could happen. Just to see if you could hook it around and get it to go to the other side. That's a great shot to practice because, like, well, first of all, you don't want to end up behind that damn rock. That was a piss poor setup on their part. They got a birdie. I saved them. This is why it always cracks me up when people are emoji spamming you and you're playing somebody. It's like, dude, have you ever been in trouble and then hoped that your opponent would save your ass, and then like the next one you're emoji spamming somebody? What kind of douchebag are you? Hole number 7. Hole number 7. All right, this is such a gimmicky hole. There is Richard, who I was talking to on the phone, he's doing a sand bump right here. I am not doing a sand bump. Ever. Ever. I'm going to bring out a 3 side spin ball katana and try and bring it around with my Guardian. This is such a shitty hole. I really think I need to be higher than the hole. Let's see, what do I got for notes? My notes say a plus 30%. At 1 per ring. Even though it's 1.1. No, that was with a sniper. So I'm doing a max pull, which is 1.1. Plus 0.1. Times whatever the wind is. Times the wind. Divided by 1.1. Plus 0.1. All right, I got my equation worked out. Let's go grab this stuff. This hole, if I make a hole in one here, it's luck. Let's just get that. Let's just clear that. Let's just clear up that landscape. If I get a hole in one here, it was luck. Luck. And we're not even talking about the force luck. We're talking about pure ass luck. My buddy Kyle was saying the only way that you can really go at it in Masters is to do the sand bump. And I can see that as a viable shot. Like in the real world, that is not a viable shot. You do not ever, don't ever, if you don't play golf and you're like, hey, I play golf, Clash, and I'm going to go play golf and see what it's like. Don't ever try and do a sand bump. Ever. Because it will not work out. Like, you might get out of the sand every now and then, but don't try it. Please. Call a friend. And what, am I time out and get a disconnect? It happened, I played the 9-hole cup the other day with my auto account. I've been playing 9-hole cups with auto, trying to get it up to tier 3 and pro. And I took the shot on hole number 1, and the shot was on its way. I hit it perfect, and I got this right here. And then when it reconnected me, but it said I timed out. And then I got on hole number 3, and I made it over in 1 on that big ass par 5. And what the hell is going on here? My opponent timed out as well? Like, what's going on? What is going on? Like, we're both getting jacked around here. My opponent took their shot. I have no idea what the deal is. What is going on? Let's just be happy. Have I taken a shot yet? 0 shots. 3.9. 4.7 rings. 4.7 rings. There's 4.7. Oh, and I hit it great to the right. One ring great to the right. I'm going to turn off my VPN. I was trying to get matched up. Richard and I were trying to play. He doesn't normally play in the morning, and we were trying to play. I talked to him before he went to bed. When I got up this morning, I called him, and he was just getting ready to go to bed, and he called me when he got up. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. Man, I feel lucky that I got out of that hole with whatever that timeout issue was, or whatever the disconnect issue was. I feel lucky. I feel lucky. You feel lucky, punk? Let's get out of there. Let's turn that off. Oh, let's turn it off. Let's make sure we're off. And then we'll open it back up again. Let's try not to have that happen during the game. Yeah, so in the 9-hole cup, you had to shoot a 12 or better, and hole number 1, I got whatever the disconnect thing was, and then on hole number 3, I got the same shit, and it said that I didn't get my shot off, and both times I got my shot off, and both times they were perfect. And I probably would not have made the hole-in-one on hole number 1, but that would have got me birdie, and I would not have gotten the Albie, but I was shooting to get on the green so that I could get my eagle on hole number 3, and that would have gave me a 12 because I didn't pick anything up. The person who came in first would have beat me because they did have an Albie, but I would have came in second, and I would have been able to get to tier 3, I think, with a second. I won a couple weeks ago in a 9-hole cup, and I thought that would get me to tier 3, but evidently you got to win more than one. What hole are we on? That was hole number 7. So we are on hole number 8. All right. All right. Now I'm heading to this spot down here and try and just chip to get on. There is a rough bump that you can do here, and in my odd account, I use I use a Hornet. And you can do the rough bump with the Hornet, but you can't do it with a Kingfisher. So I either need to switch to a Hornet, or I'm thinking about maybe trying to get on a 1. There is a way to get on a 1, and today's wind is, if you're going to try and get on a 1, today's the wind that you want to try and get on a 1, but you got to bring out a big ball. You do. You got to bring out a big ball, and you'll have to do a bunch of overpower, and I'm not sure I want to do that. But I need an APOC. And long iron, or short iron, I need a Hornet. And I need a Kingmaker. You're pulling so far back. The deal is that with the Kingmaker's not really helping you on the drive because I'm pulling back from the red line. I'm pulling back to the +3 mark. So I could easily take this with a Katana. Where the Kingmaker's helping me is on the second shot. It's putting me, I think I'm in mid-club. I might be at minimum. I think I'm at mid. We'll try that right there. We'll try that. Let's make sure we got the right. Let's make sure. Did I change it? I did. All right. Here we go. Here we go. +3 mark. APOC. I think I'm only 2 rings off. 2 topspin. If you hit it too far, I could put on more topspin, but if I put on more topspin, it kind of takes you out of the range where if you're doing the rough bump. So I can hit it farther down there if I wanted to just drive it up there, but I'm trying to do the rough bump. And I think I took +3 mark. 2 topspin. 3.9 times 1.1 divided by 1.5, 2.86 rings. There's 2.86, almost exactly. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. Whoa down, Cat Daddy. Whoa down. I think I was doing minus. Man, I don't know why you should have to take off some to the cup. But I think I did take off some to the cup. I think I did. This is once again why elevation's all bullshit. Bullshit. We'll see where I'm at in my club. I think I'm at mid Hornet, which is 1.3 per ring. There's min. There's max. So I'm pretty close to min. 2.8 divided by 1.3. It's like 1.9 rings. Rings. Let's get lined up with the wind. There's 1.9. See if we can hit this perfect. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if we can get that in the cup. In the hole! I took off 15%, so I did 0.85 times the wind divided by 1.3. And I could have pulled it just a little bit more. I had it set up. I think I was set up on the right hand side of the cup, and I came in on the left. I was on the right hand side of the flagpole, and I came in on the left hand side of the flagpole. So, and it was 1.83, and I rounded up to 1.9. I think I still would have made it if I had did the 2. Let's see. That would have been 0.9. That would have been 1.93. So maybe 10% off. And round up. All right, we still have hole. I only had to struggle on on the mid par 5. Let's see if we can pick up this last hole. And I think on the last hole, I was in a really nice spot on the front. Let me get my bag first. I'm taking my number 5 bag, and I'm taking a Kingmaker. Let's clear a slot. Never want to play without an empty slot. That way I could get that fabulous boomerang. Okay, hole number 9. I was in a really good spot earlier as far as like coming to the cup. I actually had to come at it from the right hand side. In the practice round I was coming at it from here trying to come at it, but I actually had to come at it from this side, and I was way up there in my club, like way up there. I could have actually brought a Katana, and a Katana might have been a better deal instead of a Kingmaker, because my red line was so close here that I couldn't hit back here with my sniper. I had to pull over into this area and bring it back around in order to have enough room for the wind. But with a Katana, I would have definitely been in like minimum short or minimum wood. He brought a 4 power ball out. It's not really going to help me on the drive, but it would help me on the second shot if I wanted to take that with my long iron. But I'm going to stick with the power 3 ball. And what I'm trying to do is bring it around the bend, but I'm trying to stay back in this area where you're on the hill face. Now, I had my opponent earlier hit from way down here at the bottom. And when you're way down here at the bottom, you're on the downhill slope. So their ball came in and it hit right where they wanted it, and then it did this and went flat out and went boom, right, and just buried itself in the sand. Then they tried to bounce off the rock to get over to this fairway, and they hit on the downhill side of this rock, and it hit and it went boom right into the sand. I want to hit up here off the top of the hill so that I get a full bounce to get me over to the other side. But we're so far back in our shot. This is why I was thinking about using a katana. We're so far back in our shot that, damn, I'm almost at minimum club. I'm going to try a katana. Let's try it. Let's try it. What the hell? We're just playing. This is still, even though we're, well, it's the second shot I'm really worried about. I want to be as far up there as I possibly can. What are my options? I don't think I have a lot of power 2 balls. I only have 2. And the other one doesn't have 3 side spin, and the side spin's really key. The 3 side spin is important, so I will just play it with my with a Kingmaker. And I'm doing, I've been doing plus 10 on the drive. The Joint Chief goes first from Elite Snipers. Let's see if they hit up on that hill. I haven't seen anybody yet this week hit up on that hill, but I am not a fan of hitting up on that hill at all. You can try and get on the backside of that rock and bounce off that rock and try and get over to that green. When this hole first came out, I saw quite a few people trying to do that. I have no idea where my opponent put it, so I have no idea what this is going to do. But I think they were far down in there, so it might take that flat bounce. Oh, they got it on the side of the hill. And that's going to be nice. Nice. That dog will hunt right there. That dog will hunt. 347. What I'm really concerned about is that second bounce. I want to make sure that second bounce can get to the other fairway. I'll be up on the top of that hill. 3-1, 3-3. It's 1.5 per ring. And we're at minimum. We're definitely not at max. So I'm just going to pull it right back. Hitting it perfect. My opponent was at 343. I'm at 357. Getting some good yardage there by hitting it back up on that hill face. They're getting a really high bounce to go forward, and it's giving me a lot of room along that right-hand transitional line with the rough, so that I can get really good distance. I'm not so sure I didn't get up there far enough to hit it with my long iron. I'm going to do 10% no matter what. I might just be in long iron range. I'm right at the red line. Right at it. Look at that. Max. Okay, 3.9 divided by 0.9. 4.76 rings. There's 4, 7, 5, 6. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Get in the hole, ball. Go home. Go home, ball. Go home. Didn't pull it enough. Damn it. Damn it, Jim. I'm only a doctor. Well, maybe we need to try 20% to the cup. Making notes on top of my notes. I do like the distance I got right there, though. I can tell you that. In the hole. All right, I achieved my goal, and my goal is I have always, since the very beginning of this game, always focused on trying to get the par fours. Like, we obviously want to get hole-in-ones, and we obviously want to get albatrosses, but not every par four in the game is makeable or easy, but are usually in tournament after tournament. If you go back and look at tournaments and look at the holes that we have the absolute best opportunity to pick up shots on, it's always the par fours. I mean, the par fours are consistently our best opportunities to pick up shots, and so you really want to maximize and really get those things nailed down, and I'm pretty happy with where I'm at so far on the par fours. Par fours will get you in a position to win tournaments, and then picking up one Albie or one hole-in-one is typically what it takes to win a tournament. And so really getting those par fours nailed in. All right, there you have it. I shot an opening round in my odd account with -15, and I got an opening front side with 77. Same shots. Now I'll practice tomorrow with odd, and then I'll play the backside with 77. I'll see you then. Everybody have a great weekend. Or at least a great Friday. It's Friday. It's going to be Memorial Day weekend, so everybody will have a great weekend when it gets here. But I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.